Sup, hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I had a very interesting last couple of days, let me tell you what. So I woke up and I, got some cards in the mail. I was pretty excited about that. I think I posted a couple of them up on Instagram. And then I was talking to a couple of people online and I was like, okay, where is this day going to take me today? Where am I going to go next? And am I going to talk to my family? Am I going to talk to anyone on PlayStation? Hop on, play some Fall Guys or something like that? Am I going to be, talking to Virginia today? Maybe she doesn't want to talk to me today. I don't know why. Maybe I did something. I don't know. Is she going to talk to me? Or
a CEO.
Yeah, that's right, baby. The CEO of Liquid Marketplace found my video when I was talking about the Logan Paul thing and how I was right about it, which, spoiler, I was still. I'll get to that later. But he found the video and he, dissected it and he left a couple comments, said I was twisting words and things like that, which by all means, this is right. He can do whatever he wants on videos as well. Freedom of speech, say it sucks, blah, 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 blah. I was just amazed that a CEO was talking to me for anything. Apparently a CEO, let me lay this out for you. This CEO that claims that their company has a $1 billion insured vault with millions of dollars of collectibles inside is talking to a guy on the internet who edits his videos while eating toaster strudels. I just want you to understand that real quick.
Motherfuckers thought I was joking, huh? Nope. Look at that melted smiley face. Man, I need a smiley face, all this bullshit I gotta edit.
It just blew my mind for a second. He did send me a couple DMs. He replied some other places too. I'll get into that here in a little bit, but he sent me a DM because I was super shocked that the fucking CEO of a company was talking to me. And I was just like, he's like, oh, me using you for clout is what you're claiming or something like that, huh? And it's like, no, I'm so fucking shocked that a CEO of anything is talking to me. What do you care what I have to say? I'm a sub 1K YouTube page. And so it blew my mind. I never thought that was going to happen. But he did lay out a bunch of stuff. He said a bunch of things to me. He regarded the company, tried to explain some of the things that I got wrong. I looked at some of it. There's a couple things that I wasn't really too sure of, and there's a little bit more clarity for now. But for the most part, it does not get any better when this guy talks to you. So the next little portion, I'm not going to go into my opinions. I'm not going to go into anything that I have to say about Liquid Marketplace. You want to spend your money there? Go for it. Probably going to put up a nice little disclaimer as well right before so I don't get fucking sued or anything like that. But I'm just going to tell you what he told me versus what is publicly on their terms of service. And I'm going to do nothing more unless I say otherwise. It's just going to be a very bland, let's compare what the fuck these two things have to say video. So hope you're ready for that. My viewers and friends do actually deserve to see what this company is all about and what one person is going to have to say because once again, this is a fucking CEO.
A CEO.
It does not get any higher up the food chain of a company versus what the CEO says. So we can take what they said right here and let's compare that shit to the old terms of service, baby. Let's go. Alright, so this is Ryan, the CEO of Liquid Marketplace right here. They sent me this in a DM as well, as you can see right there up at the top, but they sent me this in the comment section as well. I actually commented on Liquid Marketplace. I'm going to go through this because it's a little bit easier. You can see it all right there, and I'm not going to really go over the first part too much. He's talking about like the ownership and, I'm looking too much into the tokens. I'm focusing too much on the tokens and not what the token actually represents, which is goofy because that's all you own. But speaking of that, he actually says something really interesting right here that I actually want to make a comparison for. You're getting too fixated on the tokens here and less about what they mean for the user on Liquid Marketplace. The token represents the ownership interest in the physical asset. That's very good choices of wording right there. You actually technically, per right that, you're expressing ownership interest. You want to own it eventually. You don't own that stuff right there. It says it right there, and it even says that in the terms of service. Let's go check it out. Ownership of token. For the purpose of this section, own and ownership means with respect to a token that you have rightfully purchased or otherwise acquired from a legitimate source and not through any of the Category B prohibited activities as defined below, where proof of such purchase is recorded on the relevant blockchain. Because each token is a token on the Ethereum blockchain, when you purchase a token in accordance with these terms and not through any of the Category B prohibited activities, you own this token completely. This means that you have the exclusive right to swap your token, sell it, or give it away. That is what that means. That is all that fucking means. What is a token worth, you might ask? Subjectivity of value. You acknowledge and agree that the value of each token is inherently subjective in the same way the value of collectible is inherently subjective. Each token has no inherent or intrinsic value. So you have a physical collectible that has no intrinsic value and it's based off of market value. And now you have a digital token that is doing the exact same thing. They're two separate markets, two separate things, but your token has no value and it has no way, shape, or form attached to this collectible in any other way than the words that people are saying that it is. They're telling you it is, and you basically just have to go by that per terms of service right here. It doesn't matter what price Ethereum or Bitcoin or any other coin trades at. These tokens simply record who owns what in the physical asset. I'll get to that later. Liquid Marketplace as a company does not buy up ownership in assets. No, that's true. That's very true. Let's go see what the terms of service has to say about ownership and who owns the collectible versus people who own tokens. Ownership of collectible. In order to list a collectible for sale on the platform, the collector, i.e. the owner of the collectible, i.e. Logan Paul, must enter into a listing agreement with Liquid Marketplace. Pursuant to the listing agreement, the collector will convey all right, title, and interest in and to the collectible to the holder of the tokens, i.e. token holders, representing such collectible. The collectible will be held in a secure third-party vault in the name of a wholly owned subsidiary of Liquid Marketplace, also known as the custodian, pursuant to a custody agreement entered into between the collector and the custodian. By agreeing to these terms, each user agrees that upon purchase of a token representing a proprietary interest in a particular collectible, the user shall be deemed to have entered into a respective custody agreement for that collectible as a token holder. All right, let me break that down because I know it was a lot. I'll try to keep it short. So he was the collector. He was the owner of the collectible. He gave up that right whenever he actually became a token holder. The problem is he owns 49% of the tokens. That is such a large portion of the tokens that he might as well still be the collector. He can basically overturn and decide anything that happens with this card because he is Liquid Marketplace. Yes, it's stored at Liquid Marketplace. You can't take it anywhere. He is Liquid Marketplace. He is a co-founder, and that's kind of the problem. He is a co-founder, he is a token holder, but he has such a large portion of tokens, he might as well still be the collector. Like, that's a conflict of interest on so many levels where he is the co-owner, he wants his collectible to do well, and he wants his tokens to do it. Like, is that not something that's not crossing anybody's mind? He basically has three roles per the terms of service right here. The price of that token is also meaningless, as regardless of what it does, the value of the asset it represents doesn't change until it is sold in auction or a buyout offer is made or a comparable asset sells in the market. So what are people doing with the tokens in the meantime? Once again, that's really all they have access and they basically have a stake on is these tokens. They can buy it, sell it, and they can give it away. So what are they doing with the tokens in the meantime? Why would you even do anything with them? Why wouldn't you just hold on to them and wait till you see what the actual thing does? Because you're afraid, you're playing like money moves with this stuff. You're basically doing stocks with a physical item. I'd be like, okay, I got like 10 cents on this box. I wonder if it's going to go up or down or something like that. And by all means, you can do that, but you don't own this, right? You don't own this card. You will never have this card. And that's kind of the problem is Logan Paul has such a large number of tokens that it is physically impossible where he's sitting for you to ever make a decision that will truly impact the fate of this box or the card in Logan Paul's case or any item on Liquid Marketplace if it stays like that. If tokens drop to 1 cent hypothetically, then you get to buy more ownership in that asset at a cheaper value. Yes, any token holder can now go buy that asset at a cheaper value if people are selling that, including Logan Paul, because per your terms of service, he is now a token holder. He can go back and do that too. That's what I said in my last video, that he is capable of doing that, but for some reason that's just not something he's capable of doing. Your terms of service doesn't say that he can't do that at all. In fact, it says any token holder who owns a token is welcome to buy, sell, and give away the tokens anytime they see. Tokens exploding or dropping also do absolutely nothing for us as a business. I've said that in my last video because they're already selling the tokens at a flat 10-cent rate. They don't really care what you do with the tokens, honestly. They could go up to $1, they can go down to fucking 1 cent. It kind of doesn't matter unless the physical asset moves, right? You literally just said that. But how they're going to make their money, and I was looking at this too, they have a fee schedule posted now. This is what they're going to make their money based off of now after they sell the tokens. So you got all these different fees for wiring, e-transfer, credit card. Crypto has no fees. It's definitely not like they're trying to get you guys to use crypto or anything like that. Can't imagine why. The wire is going to be $20 US. The token and asset one, it's Ethereum gas fee determined at time of removal. So if you don't know what a gas fee is, that's whenever they create a new blockchain for the actual transaction. So you sell your token to somebody else, there's got to be a new block on the blockchain to signify that you sold it. That's what they're doing. But that's real funny because everything else has a percentage for the most part, except that one where it's determined at time of removal. Well, what would cause that to actually change? What would it be? Why can't it be a percentage, right? The tokens don't really matter. I wonder what does change over time and what value can go up and can go down and can affect the amount that you can make off those fees. I wonder what it could be and what blockchain it's attached to. As I mentioned several times already, Logan is with the community and will react to such. Okay, like little blip, this is going to be my opinion real quick. Logan Paul for the community? That's really subjective. Look, he's done some cool things with Pokemon. He did a couple of cool charities. I did like his first box break he did way back in October of 2020, I think is when he did it. November, something like that. I like that, okay? I'm not going to say he hasn't done absolutely anything for anybody and he's not like capable of being, but like the community, man, that's subjective. I don't know. End opinion, back to me comparing. Only in select special circumstances, such as listing at PSA 10 Illustrated, the lister can retain up to 49%. 99% of the assets on our platform are solely owned by co-owners. I really wish they'd stop saying co-owners. They're token holders, man. You have never once referred in your terms of service as a token holder as a co-owner. They own the token, per what you said, who bought 85% to 100% off the original lister. Listers are allowed to keep up to 15% of their assets that they list specifically because of the reason you highlighted here. In the case of the PSA 10 Illustrator, Logan did not want to sell 85% due to the significance of what this card is. As mentioned, we make exceptions, especially considering Logan is siding with the community here. The reason that they're talking about, like highlighted here, the reason they're talking about is I brought up a stalemate of like tokens where people can get literally locked into place where nobody agrees, or somebody can hold such a large amount of tokens that literally nobody else can do anything with it. And that's okay for no one else to do that. We didn't do that there, and we didn't make sure that happened with anybody else's stuff. But Logan Paul, we gave an exception. He's basically saying we gave Logan Paul special treatment because he's a co-owner. No, not a co-owner of the asset. Co-owner of the fucking company, dude. He owns the entire company. And like, look, everybody else has to give up 85 to 100% of the assets and stuff. They have to do that. They can only keep 15, but not Logan Paul. No. We don't do that for him. He's a big boy. Have you seen the size of his penis? Really big, man. And we're not letting him actually give up those tokens. He didn't want to, so we said, you know what, man? You're siding with the community. 49% of those tokens stay with you, big dog. That doesn't happen for anybody. Make sure you use that well, my man. But no, it's not just Logan Paul that can actually do that. They actually cover themselves a little bit in terms of service. I want to show you guys this because this could happen to literally anybody at any given time, right? We reserve the right to change the prices of each token at any time or from time to time at our sole and absolute discretion, and to limit the number of tokens each user is entitled to purchase, which means they can be like, oh, fuck it, this guy can get tons of tokens, or oh, this guy can get like absolutely no tokens. Well, you can get 2 tokens for this or something like that. We strongly encourage you not to purchase tokens other than as part of an initial drop or on the platform. So right there, they're basically telling you we can do whatever we want with these tokens right there. It's not just Logan Paul. It could be anybody. Drake could come in like tomorrow and they could be like, you know what, Drake, you can keep 75% of the tokens for this nice collectible you have because you're Drake. Right there, they're doing that. I want you to know that before you guys actually buy into it. None of this stuff is set in stone. In fact, that 85 to 100% must go to the token holders. That's not even in here at all. That 85 to 100 is not in the terms of service at all. That's just what he said right there in my messages because he felt like saying it right there. That is not defined whatsoever anywhere in here. I guess that's their sole and absolute discretion talking. A couple more, we're almost done. So this was said to me in the comment thread. So when I initially said something in the actual comment on Liquid Marketplace for this drop, he replied to me right there first where he said, yes, 80%. I don't really care about all that stuff because he's just going to go talk about 80%. This is what I thought was kind of funny. Logan is effectively just another co-owner, minority, where his vote alone does not decide anything. What you're saying would just cause a stalemate. If Logan wants to wear it and votes yes, then the community votes no, and he can't wear it. So that's really weird thing to say because per the terms of service, you can't even make that vote to begin with. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Oh, right, here it is. Okay, I found it. So right here, Ryan was basically saying that Logan can propose a vote to take the physical card, the actual Pikachu Illustrator, take that out and, you know, go WWE smacking with it, go fishing with it, wear it for public events. If he proposes a vote and 80% of people agree with it, oh, no, he can't. Not according to this right here. Pursuant to the custody agreement, neither the collector nor an individual token holder will have the right to take possession of the collectible or direct the custodian in any manner whatsoever unless an individual acquires sole ownership of the tokens associated with the collectible, whether through a buyout as described below or otherwise. The collectible will only be released by the custodian upon tender of 100% of the tokens representing sole ownership in such collectible, i.e. sole title, interest, and right to possession of the collectible. Once an individual owns 100% of the tokens associated with a collectible on the platform, that user may be given the option to take possession of the collectible using the platform. So right there, it's just really goofy because he's saying like, oh yeah, he can propose a vote or something like that. It says right there, he is not allowed to do so. And if Logan Paul can do that, he can actually go in the vault and be like, what's up, man? What's up, Marcus? You know, working the vault in here, right? And he just goes in there and grabs the card and takes it with him so he can go do like a photo shoot or something like that. Blatant favoritism right there, because the terms of service says no collector nor individual token holder shall be doing that. And you can't even vote on it. There's no vote option for that. It doesn't say 80% you can vote to use as a frisbee. Nowhere does it say that shit. So this dude, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's saying with any of this stuff. It's like he half knows what he wrote, and the other half he's just like, fuck it, no one's gonna check. I could go on with this for a little bit more, but I kind of think that gets the point. Like, there's blatant contradictions in what this guy is saying versus like the terms of service. And maybe Ryan really does mean everything he's saying, and maybe that's how the company is supposed to be ran, and maybe that's the rules they're supposed to enforce. But he still said that like Logan Paul gets like special treatment because he's Logan Paul, and he didn't want to give up 85% of the stuff, which I mean, I guess per terms of service, that's not even defined anywhere. You guys have sole right to do so. It's still blatant fucking favoritism though when you say 85 to 100% to other people. But whatever, I mean, just going based off what you said. So either your terms of service isn't representing what you're saying, or you're not representing what your terms of service say. So one of these things has to change. If you want to actually pay me for editing all this stuff and getting you these fixes, if that's what you decide to do, hey man, let me know. My service rate is $80 an hour for editing. Feel free to get back at me with that. And look, man, I'm sorry I had to be like this. All the best for Liquid Marketplace. I hope you guys do well. I hope you sell a lot, but people deserve to know what they're getting, and they deserve to know what they're getting into. And when you're basically just like kind of, shimmying around like what's actually going on here, and like tokens don't really mean much, and like it's not really attached to Ethereum, and it's not going to go up based off the value, but if you sell the token, then it's going to probably go based off Ethereum value. I don't know why else it would be subject to change at the time, because the only thing that would change about that is the Ethereum value. I don't know, man. It's all goofy. It's all weird. And I just really think you guys should like look into this a little bit more. You want to put your money in there? Go for it. You're a big boy, you're a big girl, you're a big adult. Go in there, put your money, my man. Go do what you want. But I'm just telling you, don't go doing this shit blind. At least look at what you're doing. That's all I got. Maybe this will explode. Maybe Logan Paul just did the greatest thing ever. Maybe he is community minded. I mean, 49% doesn't really seem like it, but whatever. I guess we'll see. That's all I got for you. Hope you're having a great night. Sorry this took a second. I had a lot to read, and I'll see you later, virgins.